After my last abandoned building video, I told myself that if I ever tried something like that again, I would at least do it during the day. I thought daylight would make it less creepy. I thought I'd feel safer. And honestly, while I was there, I did feel safer. But then I got home and started looking through the pictures, and that's when I realized I might have not been alone. So this was supposed to be a calmer video. After what happened last time, I didn't want to go wandering around some abandoned place at night again. I figured if I was going to make another story time like this, I should do it during the day. I found this abandoned building that looked like an old school or office building. I'm not going to say exactly where it is, but it had that empty, forgotten look. Broken windows, faded brick, weeds growing around the entrance, and the kind of silence that makes even daytime feel wrong. I thought I was just going to take a few pictures, walk around for a little bit, and leave. When I got there, the first thing I noticed was how quiet it was. That was what made it weird. During the day, you expect noise birds, cars, people, something. But around this building, everything felt muted. The sky was cloudy, so it wasn't sunny exactly. It was bright enough to see, but still gray and lifeless. I remember thinking, okay, this already feels off, but at least it's not night. The front entrance looked like it had been untouched for years. The door was damaged, the windows were covered or broken, and there was old graffiti around the walls. I took my first few pictures outside because I wanted to use them for the video. At this point, nothing strange had happened yet, but looking back at one of those first pictures, there's something I didn't notice until later. There's a dark shape in one of those second floor windows. I didn't see it when I was there. Inside, it looked even more like a school. There were long hallways, old lockers, peeling paint, broken ceiling tiles, and paper scattered across the floor. The weird thing was, it didn't feel destroyed randomly. Some areas looked like they had been abandoned in a hurry, like people left and never came back. I kept hearing little sounds, but they were easy to explain away. A drip somewhere, wind moving through a broken window, the building settling. Nothing that made me want to run. Not yet. The first room I went into looked like an old classroom. There were broken desks, old papers, and a chalkboard still on the wall. There was one of the creepiest rooms, but not because anything happened while I was standing there. It was because of the picture. When I got home and looked at it, I noticed one desk was different from the others. It looked like someone had pulled it away from the group and turned it towards the door. I didn't move it, and I don't remember it being like that when I walked in. This is where things started getting weird. I had two pictures of the same classroom. They were taken maybe a minute apart. In the first one, the desk was facing sideways. In the second one, it looked like it was facing me. I know that sounds small, but when you're alone in an abandoned building, something small like that does not feel small. Because either I missed it, or something moved while I was there. After that, I checked out what looked like an old bathroom. Broken mirrors, sinks covered in grime, stalls hanging open. This room had a different feeling. It was colder than the hallway. Not freezing, but noticeably colder. I took a picture of the mirrors because they looked creepy. And later, when I zoomed in, there was a shape in one of the mirror reflections. It looked like someone standing behind me, but when I took the photo, I was alone. While I was in the bathroom, I heard something from upstairs. It sounded like one heavy step, just one. I stopped and listened, but nothing else happened. That was the point where I started thinking maybe I should leave soon. I wasn't terrified yet, but I was uncomfortable. I kept telling myself, it's daytime. You're fine. It's probably just the building. But the building was starting to feel less empty. I went upstairs anyway, which was probably stupid. The second floor had a long hallway with classrooms or offices on both sides. Some doors were open, some were closed, some were barely hanging on the hinges. This was where I took the picture that bothered me the most. At the end of the hallway, there was a doorway. When I was there, it looked empty, but in the photo, I was standing just inside the doorway. Not clearly, not enough for me to say what it was, but enough that I know something was there. There was another thing that I noticed later. I had a photo where a door on the right side of the hallway was closed. Then, a few pictures later, that same door was open. I don't remember opening it. I don't remember hearing it open, and I definitely don't remember walking inside that room. That was when reviewing the photos stopped being fun. This is the strangest part. There was one picture on my phone that I don't remember taking. It was inside a room I don't remember entering. There was an old cabinet, papers on the floor, and a window with light coming through it. The picture was blurry, like I was moving when I took it, but I have no memory of being in that room. And that honestly bothers me more than any shadow or figure in the background. After a while, I decided that I had enough footage and pictures. I wasn't running out, but I was definitely ready to leave. As I walked back downstairs, I kept hearing little noises behind me. Nothing dramatic, just small sounds. A creak, a tap, something shifting. But every time I turned around, there was nothing there. That's the worst kind of creepy. When nothing jumps out, but everything feels like it could. Before I left, I took one last photo from inside the entrance, looking back into the building. At the time, I thought it was just a normal picture, kind of a closing shot for the video. But when I looked at it later, there was a dark shape in the hallway behind me. It was far away, near the back. It looked like it was standing in the exact spot I had just walked through. And that's when I stopped just for a while. When I got home, I started going through the photos like normal. At first, I was just choosing which ones looked good for the video. But then I noticed the window, the classroom desk, then the mirror, then the doorway. And the more I looked, the more it felt like the pictures were telling a different story than the one I remembered. When I was there, I thought nothing really happened, but the photos made it look like something had been near me the entire time. So I don't know what to think. Maybe it was shadows, maybe it was angles, maybe old buildings just look creepy no matter what. But some of those pictures are hard for me to explain. I went during the day because I thought it would be safer, and maybe physically it was, but mentally, I think this one bothered me more. Because at night, you expect the dark to hide things. During the day, you expect to see everything, and somehow, I still missed whatever was in there with me. I'm not saying I'll never do another video like this, but I am saying that next time, I'm gonna pay more attention to what's in the background before I leave. If you see anything in these pictures that I didn't mention, tell me, because honestly, I don't know if I caught everything.